Okay, so we will be looking at this problem, valid anagram. Given two strings s and t, return true if t is an anagram of s and false otherwise. Okay, so basically what is an anagram? An anagram is a word or phrase formed by rearranging the letters of a different word or phrase, typically using all the original letters exactly once. So over here in this case, we have a string s and a string t. Okay, and if you see this string, they both are of 7 characters. Yes, 3 4 plus 3 7 7, and they have same count of the characters. For example, over here a is appearing 3 times. Similarly, over here a is appearing 3 times. Then over here n is appearing just once, and over here also n is appearing just once. Then we can say that g is appearing once, r is appearing once, and m is appearing once. So both the strings have equal frequency of the characters and both have same characters. So this should return true. Now if you consider this example, rat and car, over here R and R is appearing once, A and A is appearing once. But T, over here we have T and over here we have C. So this is not an anagram. So we cannot say that T is an anagram of S because there is one difference of character. There's a difference of this character T. So we have to return false. Okay. So my approach over here is to convert this string. So first find whether the length is same. If the length is same, then we can continue. If the length is different, then obviously they are not anagrams. So we'll return false. The second thing is then we'll have to check. What we can do is we can sort this string. In fact, we can sort this both the strings. Once we sort both the strings, and if both the strings are equal, exactly equal, then we'll return true, saying that this is an anagram. Otherwise, we return false. Okay, so let me write the code over here. So if s dot length is not equal to t dot length, then you return false. Okay. Otherwise, what you need to do is you need to sort first, because this is a string and sorting will only happen on an array. We'll have to first split the string and convert it into a array. So what we can say is we can say return s dot split dot sort. On this sort, then we call back the join method so that we get back a string, and then we check it with t dot split. Now we'll have to split the t string, then you sort it, and then you join it. So if both the outputs are equal, obviously we'll return true, otherwise we'll return false. Let me run this program. Okay, the test cases are accepted. Let us submit this. All right. Okay. Now there is another approach. What we can do is we can create a frequency object for both the strings. So S will have a frequency object, say uh, smap, and T will have a frequency object, say tmap, in which we store key, the characters as a key, and its rep count as the value. So in our map, A will have a value of 3, N will have a value of 1, G will have a value of 1, R will have a value of 1, and M will have a value of 1. Similarly, we'll do it for the string T. And then we loop through that object. We loop through any of the object and see if the key and its value are equal to whatever is present in the T object. So let me try to write the code for that. So first, our first check would be to just check on the lengths. If the lengths are not equal, then obviously return false. So we just say if s dot length is not equal to t dot length, then return false. Okay. Now let us create a lookup object. Let us create some objects. So for const s map is equal to an empty object over here, and t map will be equal to an empty object. Let us write types for it, although it is not required at the moment, but let us just write the type. So key will be a string and its value will be a number because we are going to store the count. Similarly, let us write for tmap, which is basically going to be the same. So we'll have a key, which is a string. And for our objects, the keys are always in the of type string, irrespective. Even if you write key as number or boolean, it will still be get converted into a string. And our value will be a number over here. Okay. Now we have already identified that the lengths are equal. So what we can do is we can just run one for loop. What we can say is we can say let len equal to s dot length. Okay. And what we'll do is we'll run a for loop for so many characters and then start inserting, creating the frequency object. So for let I equal to 0, I less than length, I plus plus. Okay. And then what we can say is s map. First we'll create a frequency object for s string. So s of I, so it will take the character a over here and add 1 to it. Okay. But we will have to first get the old value. If there was another uh, a already present, we'll have to add to that value. Okay. In case of the first occurrence, a will be undefined. This s map will be undefined. So we'll have to check. So what we can do is we can check whether it is undefined. Then we make it a 0 over here. Otherwise, we just add plus 1 to it, to whatever is the value. Similarly, we'll have to do it for tmap of t of I is equal to tmap of t of I. It is undefined, then make it 0 and then add 1 to it. Okay, so our lookup or our frequency maps are ready. Now, what we can do is we can call the for in loop. So for let key in any of the map, we'll call it on the S map. Now, what we can do is we can check if your S map key, whether this value is exactly equal to T map key value, we'll ask say if it is not equal, then directly return false. So we have found out that the keys are not equal, so we return false. And then if the for loop executes properly and all the keys have been processed, we say that okay, there was no difference found in the values. So all the characters and its occurrences are same for both the strings s and t. So we return true. Okay, so let me run this program and see. All right, and let's submit it. Okay, so our answer is accepted.